In a small, isolated village at the edge of a vast desert, there lived a young man named Omar. He was known for his bravery and love of adventure. One night, while the village slept under a blanket of stars, Omar decided to explore the nearby dunes, curious about the tales of hidden treasures buried in the sands. As he walked through the silent desert, the wind began to pick up, swirling the sand around him. The moonlight cast long shadows on the dunes, creating shapes that seemed to move with the breeze. Omar pressed on, driven by the thrill of discovery. Suddenly, he noticed a figure standing atop a distant dune, silhouetted against the moon. The figure was tall and still, almost too still to be human. Omar hesitated, a chill running down his spine, but his curiosity got the better of him. He approached the figure cautiously, his heart pounding in his chest. As he drew nearer, the figure turned to face him. It was a man, but there was something otherworldly about him. His eyes glowed faintly, and his robes fluttered in the wind, though there was no breeze. Omar knew the stories. This was no ordinary man. It was a jinn, a being of fire and air, capable of great power and trickery. "Why do you wander the desert at this hour, young one?" the jinn asked, his voice deep and echoing, as if it came from the very depths of the earth. Omar swallowed hard, but he stood his ground. "I seek adventure and perhaps a bit of fortune," he replied, trying to keep his voice steady. The jinn smiled, a strange and unsettling expression. "Fortune you seek, and fortune you shall find," he said. "But beware, not all treasures are gold and jewels." With a wave of his hand, the sand beneath Omar's feet began to shift, revealing a small chest, half buried in the ground. Omar's eyes widened in amazement as he knelt to open it. Inside, he found glittering gems and gold coins, more than he had ever dreamed of. But as he reached out to touch the treasure, the jinn's voice echoed in his mind. "Remember, young one, everything comes at a price." Omar hesitated, his hand hovering over the gold. He suddenly felt a heavy weight on his chest, as if something was warning him to stop. The stories of the jinn's tricks and the curses that often accompanied their gifts filled his mind. Realizing the danger, Omar stepped back and bowed to the jinn. "Thank you for the lesson, but I think I shall leave this treasure where it lies." The jinn's smile widened, and with a nod, he vanished into the night, leaving Omar alone in the desert. The chest and its contents crumbled into sand, blown away by the wind. Omar returned to his village with a newfound respect for the tales of old and a deep understanding that not all treasures are worth the risk. From that night on, he chose to seek adventure in the safety of daylight, leaving the mysteries of the night to the jinn.